board is still 95%. How about you?
50 to 60.
Okay, not that bad. My board was
Considering one and you're like, maybe not, I've got the money, I'd like it, just do it. It is such a great purchase, and you know, I've already convinced friends and family.
So before buying my Bamboo GT, I watched many videos just like those to help me decide to purchase the Bamboo GT. But here's why I decided to switch from Evolve to Boosted. So I bought my Bamboo GT in early October 2017, and I owned that board from that point up until the end of November of that same year. The board ended up getting stolen, but that's not the reason why I decided to switch. So the short amount of time I owned the skateboard, I loved it. I loved it a lot. The range is the main reason why I bought the board, and had same top speed as a Boosted for about the same price with more than double the range. So I thought, hey, that's probably the best bet, the best skateboard I could possibly buy for the money. So I went for it. And that board I had zero issues with, no issues. I really only rode it around school, around my university, to and from my friend's house in my small town. That's about it. Nothing heavy use. I didn't have the all-terrain wheels. I think it came with the 97mm wheels. And yeah, no issues. Standard maintenance, everything was fine. Unfortunately, that board was stolen out of my car. My car got broken into and the board was stolen. So there's nothing really I could do about it. And then I contacted Evolve to see what could be done about the situation. And they suggested that we go about it through like a homeowner's insurance. They said some customers that have had success doing that, so we did, and we ended up getting around half of the original price of the skateboard in insurance money. So I used that money to help pay for a second board, and I ended up buying another one, getting that one around beginning of this year, January 2018. And I was happy that I got my new board, because I had a really good experience with the first one. Now the second board is where things kind of go wrong. So this one, I bought the second board straight from Evolve, whereas the first board I bought it through a board shop in San Diego. But it's a verified seller through Evolve, so it was fine. But that one came with 97mm wheels, and then this one, I believe it's 83mm. I'm not too sure. The stock ones that come with the Evolve board, this is what it came with because it came straight from Evolve. So that's the only difference between the newest board and the first board I owned. Only two differences, keep in mind. So I'm not too sure exactly how long into me owning this board I had ran into this issue, but I was riding around school. Normal use. I mainly ride in GT mode. Riding around school like I normally did with my old board, but I started hearing this weird noise come from what I thought were the belts. So I checked the belts, checked the belt tension, tightened it up, the usual stuff that I did with my previous board, but nothing would fix it. No, the sound, it was a weird sound, and then I ended up coming to the conclusion that it was probably the motor. So I'll put up a little clip of a sound too in the video as well. So yeah, I ended up contacting Evolve, or actually no, first I ended up checking online on the forums, see if anyone else has had similar issues that I have experienced, and I only found maybe one post. I forget, it's not on Reddit, it was some other forum. Only one other person had the same exact issues that I had, And so and then they didn't know the cause of it, and neither did I. So ended up reaching out to Evolve, and since my board was still under warranty, it was still maybe a month into me owning it, maybe even less. It's still under warranty, so they offered to take the board in for repair. And I said, okay, sweet, nice. They told me that it's probably an issue with the motor, which I came to that conclusion myself before contacting them. Anyways, that's beside the point. So they took the board in, and then after they had finished their repairs, they sent me an email listing what had been done, and they just did like standard maintenance, clean the board, and then it said they actually replaced both the motors on the board. But a red flag to me, I look back at it now, I didn't really realize it then, was they didn't really mention exactly what was wrong with the board. But I didn't really think much of it. I just really wanted to get my board fixed. So got the email, got the confirmation number about it being sent back, board came back, cool, done. At that time, I believe I was on spring break from school, so I didn't really ride it much. So I mainly ride it around school. So school starts up, and then I bring the board to school. First day of school, board works fine, working like it's brand new. No issues. Remote works fine. Motors work fine. Brakes work fine. Cool. And then I believe it was just the second day of me riding it since I got it back, and the same exact issue happened. Weird sound when I would accelerate from the motors. Yeah, I was really, really angry at this point. And then I ended up contacting Evolve again. And of course, since the board was still under warranty, they offered to repair it again, which they did. Same exact thing, motor replacement, free of charge, And at this point, I'm like, I don't want to deal with this potentially happening again. So I don't ride it for the longest time and keep the board in the box. And I contemplate just getting a whole different skateboard, So I end up looking at boosted boards, and same price. So at this point, I put up my board for sale, and for the longest time, I wasn't able to find a buyer. People were kind of skeptical about the whole motors being replaced thing, why I haven't ridden it since it got replaced. But I was upfront with people, and they ended up getting a seller, so I jumped the gun and purchased the Boosted Plus. So now I'm waiting for that. It's gonna be a few weeks, hopefully. But yeah, so from the time I had my Evolve board, it was awesome. I loved it. At least my first skateboard. My first board had zero issues with. I could probably confidently say that if I still had that board, had it not gone stolen, I probably would still be riding it. Wouldn't have any issues with it. I don't know if the issues arose on my second board because of the size difference in the wheels, but I'll never know. And just the whole situation with the company not really telling me exactly what went wrong with the skateboard. They kind of just fixed it, and that's it. It didn't really sit well with me. Although they were very accommodating for my warranty and getting repaired, but still, I feel like a company should like tell their customers what exactly is going wrong with these boards, And then I haven't really seen anybody with issues with boosted boards, so we'll see what happens. I don't have the board yet, but maybe I'll make a follow-up video about the skateboard. All right, well, yeah, if you're looking into electric skateboards, I mean, if you want to try out Evolve, sure, go for it, but I've had issues with it, and I've seen other videos of people with issues with it, just completely returning the board, going to a whole different company. So I don't know. If you're in the market for a skateboard, Evolve and boosted are probably your best bet, but I'd probably say go for boosted, at least with just my experience now. So yeah.